Welcome one, welcome all. There it is. There it is. I was just gonna ask. We back Wax Chronicles episode. Who knows? We got some playoff basketball to talk about, some draft lottery stuff to talk about, some off-season stuff to talk about. But first things first, S Ambush. Away you went.
DC and S Ambush are getting mighty lonely up there.
Yeah, seriously. I haven't been keeping track of like the metrics and anything like that. So we could have more subscribers, but I'm assuming we don't know.
I don't think we do.
Rats. Well,
yeah,
something to strive for, right?
Bunch of lurkers, dude. That's all it is. One of these days they'll subscribe.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Where do you want to jump in at? I mean, it's been a hot minute since we've talked. That's 100% my bad. I had some things come up that needed my attention, and I couldn't.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I couldn't get away. So, a lot's happened. I know one thing you've been itching to talk about is the James Harden saga.
Saga. Oh yeah.
So hit me with all your takes.
Okay, hold on.
Hit me with all of them, you bitch.
I'm really sorry. This is bad podcasting. I'm going to step away for 5 seconds because I gotta grab my phone from the other room because I have a screenshot that I need to read off of.
I gotta kill time. Jupiter, get over here.
Yeah, kill time, dude. I'll be back in 10 seconds.
You better make it snappy. Anyways, this motherfucker's about to say some blasphemous stuff about James Harden. We all know it's not true. You know, just let him have his moment in the sun. Let him get it off his chest. But us Harden truthers, we got to stick together out there. All right. Time officially killed. Oh, we back.
Right. Yes, now that this topic is so fresh and up to date, let's chat about it. Anyway, well, you know what? Do you want to go first? Do you want to take a moment to brace the audience for the tirade I'm about to go on?
That's the thing. My take hasn't changed.
I don't know what it'll take. It will never change.
No, like obviously the Sixers flame out was disappointing. James Harden has a decent share of blame in that. I think that between James Harden not being the player that they thought they got and Joel Embiid's injuries and their depth, I think that's what caused them to lose. Those are the three primary factors. Harden deserves a big chunk of that blame. But again, I've come to terms with the player that he is now, and I've accepted that. And I think he was even disappointing for that standard, especially if you look at the second half of the closeout game. So here's my thing. Everybody, like you and all these people, still hold him to MVP Harden standards. I don't hold him
the Harden from I don't know, a year and a half ago.
2 years ago. Wait, I thought he was sandbagging then. Which is it? Was he sandbagging or was he still one of the best players in the world?
You can be what? Those aren't mutually exclusive, shitbird.
Anyways, you guys still have him up here. I have him about here. He played it about here. So, I'm not impressed with what he did. I'm not impressed with the way the Sixers. Yeah, it was bad. He disappeared, and he had a poor excuse. I don't know if he's trying to kill the coach or what he's trying to do. But, hey, I'm just playing the system, moving the ball. Ball never came back, didn't get my shots up. If you're even a top 50 player in the league, if you're a top 75 player in the league, and, the best player on your team is, hampered by injuries, it's time for you to at least try to step up, try to make a point, try to go out there and win the game for your team. But he seemed more content to let Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, JoJo get the shots up, and that leads to a second-round exit. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I always play with kid gloves when I'm with Harden because he's my guy. Support him till the end. But I was disappointed. Even as a Harden fan, I was disappointed. So hit me with it, you bitch.
Well, I'm just trying to think I'm just trying to find a good comparison of if.
Oh, Chris Paul, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, he choked like a motherfucker, but I'm not sitting here calling him the best player in the league.
Hey, what did I just say?
Yeah,
I said he's a top 50, top 75? He ain't top 10, he ain't top 5. That's what everybody still acts like. That's my issue.
I guess that's something that that's just one thing that bothers me is how you don't have a problem with a player like him. Imagine if next year KD did what James Harden. Well, no, that's not fair because you hate KD. I'm just trying to think of a player you're kind of impartial
to. Think about how he went.
Well, no, you like Melo.
But he was a first option on a team, and then he was a role player the next year.
That's not my point. My point is like I don't feel like you'd be okay with or making these concessions for somebody that you were indifferent to.
That's
But I
fair.
feel like it's just like anybody who cares this little and puts in this little much effort and kills this many coaches and runs off on this many teams in so amount of time and falls off a cliff this much and plays a certain way. That's like, if this was a blind thing and I didn't know it was James Harden, I'd say, oh, Bailey fucking hates this guy. He's literally the epitome of everything we hate. But for some effing reason, I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom to, or the bottom of it, all these conversations is like, why the fuck?
So here's the thing. I loved Harden when he was coming out. I was predisposed to like him. He goes to the Thunder, and yeah, he was like a young. I wish some of his like young guy tendencies of like, hey, he never made the changes to his diet. Hey, he never, he still likes to go out to the clubs, and he doesn't take his career as an NBA player as professionally as I would hope. But like, I guess I just he kind of has unlimited points in my book. Like he'll never be able to cut into all the goodwill he's fostered with me because, and this is something that I value, I feel like more than other people, was when the Warriors were at peak of powers, there was only like two teams actually gearing up, actually trying to like.
I know, but that's not James Harden. The James Harden doesn't deserve the credit for that. Daryl Morey and the Rockets front office deserves the credit for that.
Yeah, but like he was the best player on those teams. It's like, yeah, he didn't make the decision of like, well, maybe he did. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I think
either way, that's why I'm trying to tell you exactly precisely why. I was predisposed to like him because I liked him as a prospect. I liked him as a young player. And then
I don't remember you liking him that much in OKC for some reason. Do I just have blinders on about that?
Well, no, because like I know he wasn't like favorite player or anything at OKC, but I was like, oh, he's a cool young player. Like I liked him in college. I liked his game. I liked the way he played. And I decided long ago that I was like, this is a guy I like. And then for him to do, we praised LeBron until the end of time for the stuff that he did going up against the Warriors. And there was like, the Rockets were right there too, doing the same thing.
Well, no, there's the reason LeBron gets praised is because he scores 50 in a finals game and shows up every night. We don't praise him because he was in a situation where he's playing a competitive team. We praise him because he showed up.
Those are big shoes to fill, though. I mean, we're literally comparing Harden to the GOAT. So it's obviously he's going to fall short of that.
I agree. It's an unfair comparison, but you brought up LeBron, and I have some information here about this series that I feel like, I mean, I know that I'm wasting my time because there's no changing. I'll never turn.
It would literally take some. I don't know if there's anything Harden could do because at this point,
he's done it. He's done it all, dude.
Well, that's the thing is like, how much lower can his stock go? And like, I know how you and I both are
personally and professionally.
Yeah, I mean, and you and I, we both dig in our heels. We're both stubborn about stuff. It's like every argument you make about Harden, I could make something similar to Kyrie. The only difference is like Kyrie's like kind of more of a pure. I don't know, like
Kyrie has more wrong personally than James, but
with the basketball.
But Kyrie has less wrong professionally. Mm-hmm. Not to say some of Kyrie's stuff doesn't bother me, like him being like Mr. Woke guy or like thinking he knows everything. That doesn't bother me. But obviously some of his health choices and like the fake stances he takes to not take the vaccine and stuff, that stuff is the shit that is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Not to mention like, I don't know. Again, we pick and choose the things that we place like value on, but it's like you put more importance on the shot than I do, and I put more importance on his exodus from Cleveland than you do.
Yeah, that's
so it's like that. True. I feel like that's where some of the gap is on our evaluation of Kyrie. But yeah, I mean, like they're perfect foils because they're both shitheads. One is the horse that I'm backing, the other is the horse that you're backing. So it's dude, it's like I don't know, immovable object versus I don't know what till the end of time. Hit me with your shit. Get your shit off.
Sorry,
I'm waiting for it for a week.
I'm gonna be looking down at my phone, so I apologize for this. I happen to have James Harden's second half statistics for all 6 games.
Nice.
Holy shit. This is
absolute Harry Houdini.
I don't understand, dude. Okay, game 1. Second half, he was 1 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 2 dimes, 2 turnovers, 4 points. So second half, terrible shooting, 4 points, 2 dimes, 2 turnovers.
Didn't
not
impact
like
the game much. Yeah.
No, he's a ghost. Game 2, and that was in 15 minutes. Game 2, 20 minutes, 1 for 5, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. So he had 4 points, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. But at this point, he is 2 for 9 in the second half on the series. Game 3, played 18 minutes.
Well, yeah. And I mean, like, obviously, I guess, sorry, I'm just looking at the games. The game got out of hand in the second half of game 1.
He played 20 minutes. He should be playing when he's out there.
Yeah. It's not like what I'm trying to say is, like, it doesn't look to me like any of these games were just absolute blowouts.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact he's getting this many minutes, he should be playing hard when he's on the court. Game 3, 18 minutes, 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 4 boards, 4 dimes, block, and 3 turnovers. So he had
hit me with that one again.
1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, no trips to the line, 4 boards, 4 dimes, a block, and 3 turnovers. So that was they won game 3. That was JoJo's first one back. But he had 2 points and then 4 dimes to 3 turnovers on more horrific shooting. So at this point, he's 3 for 14 in the second half of the playoff games.
Well, and I want to clarify one thing. I didn't mean to say none of the games were blowouts. Some of the games did end in blowouts, but they weren't blowouts at halftime as well.
Yeah, they were blowouts because he wouldn't pull his hat out of his ass in the second half.
Yeah, he wasn't doing what he needed to do.
All right, game 4 was the Harden explosion, which I know that you were popping for that. I was popping just as hard, dude, because like when the
best day of my life.
Going back to his time with the Rockets, those times where he would just like literally put the team on his back against teams that they were way outmatched by, I would get hype for that shit. Like at the peak Warriors, I mean, you know me, I was rooting for Harden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not at the end of the Rockets run, but like in the peak of the Rockets run. I was like, I really wanted him to win. I was pulling for him so hard. So I was getting like some good PTSD, if that's such a thing from that. But anyway, game 4, 21 minutes, 5 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line, 4 boards, 2 dimes, 1 turnover, 18 points in the second half. Anybody who watched game 4, that was an amazing performance. He literally was just like, that was vintage Harden. And that was one thing I'm glad I didn't forget about this, because this is one thing I wanted to bring up with you. It was bothering me so much during the broadcast where they kept saying Harden turning back the clock. It's like, what, turning back the clock a week? This motherfucker ain't 38. This isn't Dwight Howard going 17 and 13 or something.
Not every 32-year-old is the same though. Like you have to acknowledge 32.
That.
How many guys have had his workload? How many guys have had his workload in NBA history? 5?
I don't care.
How many playoff minutes he has?
Dude, LeBron.
Yeah, again, if we're comparing him to LeBron, he's not going to win. But it's like if you're going to compare him to the median 32-year-old or the average 32-year-old NBA player, he has a lot more miles than the average 32-year-old.
I guess I just don't expect an NBA 75, one of the all-time greats, top 5 shooting guard in the history of the NBA.
Average 36 a game, 34 a game.
Yeah, not even that long ago. I don't expect a motherfucker like that to fall off a cliff. I expect it to be a gradual decline. But that's anyway, fair. Let me finish where these stats here.
I can make the argument it's slightly gradual.
You're sounding like Patrick Beverley, and I think everybody believes that motherfucker is delusional at this point. Let me finish here, though. So he just has to change the way he played. He had to change the way he played.
Well, no, he actively wanted to. That's why he wanted out of Houston. He's I don't want to play like this anymore.
Okay, so you'd rather change the way you play than win?
If what was he going to do in Houston? Yeah, he should have stepped up. He should have stepped up in Philly. He should have stepped up in these playoff games.
Game 5, 1 for 5. 1 for 3 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line, 0 assists, 2 turnovers. I mean, that's, game 5 of a 2-2 series. That is a big time fucking fall apart there. And that was in 16 minutes. Game 6, 23 minutes, 0 for 2 from the field. I mean, this one's been highly scrutinized.
Oh, yeah.
0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 0 free throw attempts. And to me, that just indicates I'm just going to stand here by the 3-point line and do absolutely nothing.
It's not like he's making it up on the other end. Like he's
Absolutely
an absolute turnstile on defense in this
two
series.
boards, 4 dimes, 3 turnovers. So that means he in the second half he had what? Okay, so 10, 16 at dimes and 6, 8, 9, 11 turnovers. So like that's a sub 1.5, is it not?
Yeah.
And then he is 1, 2, 3, 8, 9 for 32, I believe, from the field. It's like if you're going to be a pass first point guard, at least fucking do that well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was just one of the most hideous performances. But the thing about it was I didn't expect anything else from Harden because this is what he does every fucking year. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'll put that'll be the bow on my talk about James Harden for this season, just because there's no reason to talk about Philly at this point other than I feel bad for JoJo. But
yeah, I mean, that's the suckiest part of the whole thing. Is like, again, another JoJo year where if he's healthy, who knows, in spite of Harden, they might make a run, but the injuries that he sustained through the playoff run was just brutal. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's even being like one of the last guys on Harden Island, that last half in game 6 was a doozy. Especially because I don't think was the game. I guess it was pretty. It wasn't totally out of reach.
It was, yeah. It wasn't like Dallas Phoenix, but what game is? But like,
well, no,
if that's your season online, I don't care if it's 15 in the fourth quarter. You should be fighting.
Yeah, I think it was like a 1-point game at halftime. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, his second, like, and if he's really like that's
play the entire. Him and JoJo both played the entire quarter. Third quarter when the Heat went on the run and JoJo was 1 for 7, Harden was 0 for 1. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. That's just a disaster.
And if Harden's going to go to those extents to get a coach change, I hate him. Like, yeah, sandbag it, and if that's like, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not coming up with that. I heard that somewhere else. But like, if he's going to play like that and say the things he's going to say to get Doc out of there, and throw away another year just to get his way with a coach.
Well, yeah, because you're not throwing away just your year. You're throwing away, 12, 13, 14 other players, a whole organization.
A whole organization who's worked so hard with real championship aspirations.
Yeah.
And you're just going to do that because you don't want to.
Well, like,
I don't know.
Again, like, this is the mental illness that is being a Harden fan. But it's like, you could make the argument, like, yeah, they didn't have a shot either way with Embiid's injuries.
I think they did.
It's still unacceptable for if he was truly like out there with the intent of like, hey, I want to get Doc Rivers fired. I think it's another thing, and I think there's nuance around this conversation. It's like, also, if a coach loses the locker room and he's just not getting the most out of guys, it's like a two-way street. But if Harden was out there actively like, no, I want to be here, but I actively just want Doc Rivers to leave, so I'm going to sandbag. Again, I usually don't think the worst of players. So I don't know. I would believe more like, hey, him and Doc Rivers just never quite clicked. Neither of them could ever get their footing together. It led to Harden playing like dog shit, which is kind of what it looks like.
If a coach has lost the locker room, though, there's no need for one player to take it upon himself to sandbag a whole team season to prove that. It's like the coach has lost the locker room and it's not working out. That will it's not gonna. It shouldn't take Harden or a high level player sandbagging it to be like, hey, this guy's lost the locker room. We need to get him out of here.
But still, it's like it's more than that. Like, it's not like Harden was the only reason they lost. That's the thing that bothers me. I think their roster was inherently flawed. When you look at a team that has like the depth that the Heat does compared to the depth that the Sixers do, night and day difference. And then you throw in massive injuries to their best player. Like either of those injuries should have put JoJo out for the playoffs.
But that's just what makes me hate Harden even more is you have a guy fighting through those injuries and playing and struggling.
Yeah, and you're not
trying. Just have a motherfucker stand there and be like, sorry, JoJo, figure it out. I know you got a fucked up hand and a fucked up face, but I'm just going to stand here and watch you try and do this. I don't know. Again. I don't know, dude. Because especially when you cross JoJo, that's a line you don't cross with me, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people project a lot onto Harden. So, I don't know. Obviously, I wish he would have played better. I wish the Sixers
played or tried.
But also, when are we going to start giving the Heat some credit to? Like, And that goes for everyone that covers basketball. I mean, they've been like somehow the best kept secret in the league, but they're a fucking 1 seed.
Yeah.
It's like, how is this even possible? Well, I don't know. Is there any other? Do you want to cover any of the other conference semifinal matchups since it's been a hot minute?
Yeah, I mean, just at a high level, like I just want to. I deserve to eat crow for the Phoenix Dallas series because I remember chatting with you about. I'm like, this will be after game 2 we chatted. It's like this will be a sweep at most, a gentleman's sweep, and here I am looking like a fucking idiot. So
yeah, you're not
congrats
the only one.
Congrats to the Mavericks, and I didn't think that team the way they're set up. I mean, I'm probably gonna end up flying too close to the sun again, but like I think they might get swept or gentlemen swept by the Warriors.
I'm gonna learn from your mistakes.
It's just not sustainable, dude. They only have one guy.
Yeah,
I know we go back and forth every time. It's the same song and dance every time. But at the end of the day, this feels like LeBron with like the 07 Cavs, dude. Yeah. It's like it's literally Luka and some role players who, depending on how well they do, they can win a game. But it's like if you're pinning your hopes to how well Spencer Dinwiddie and like Dorian Finney-Smith do, best of luck to you.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean,
the Warriors are gonna win the fucking title.
Shut up. No, they're not. Look at the Heat.
They are.
Again.
Look at
Why
the
are you
Warriors.
Sleeping on the Heat.
Because the Warriors, they can't be beat.
They can and they will. I'm not even counting the Mavs out of this series. It's game 1. The Mavs were coming off shorter rest than the Warriors. You know, was it Chase Center? Is that the new name?
Yeah.
Chase Center was a rocking, you know, and it's like the Mavericks play the style of basketball. It's like
fake ass fans.
Well, if you're going to put up 48 threes and only hit 11 of them, like, I mean, it sucks that this is the modern NBA, but these like so many games just come down to like, oh, whose threes were going in. And it's like, it sucks that that's what the game is, but it's like,
I don't even want to watch this shit anymore, dude, to be honest with you.
Especially this series, the Warriors, Mavs,
Well, dude, I was just like looking at
this.
I was looking at the 2011 finals box scores just to revisit how the Mavs won, like how well Dirk
23
did.
threes a game.
That was like 23s in a game. I'm like, I like this.
Yeah.
But now every game's double that. I'm just like, I'm so fucking tired of
Well, yeah, and just watching players hunt threes and everything you do is just to get a 3-point look. It's just like, I don't know. It's just not the essence of basketball that either of us grew up with, played, watched, loved. It's a departure from that. But
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, with both of these series, I'm going to try not to do the overreact to the first 2 games. I'm going to wait till at least game 3, game 4 to really, if I had to pick, I'd probably say Warriors in like 6 or 7, but I don't think it's count the Mavs out at all. I mean, at this point, like Luka's earned that respect. This Mavs team's earned that respect. So,
isn't it their first time out of the first round though? Have they earned that respect?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but it's like, they also went up against the Clippers teams that were both like, you know, highly favored.
They ain't shit either though.
Well, yeah, but like, well, no, and like, I mean, beating that Suns team where they're a 64-win team in the regular season, absolutely just ripping just embarrassing them on their home court in game 7. I don't know. I think the Mavs earn a respect to get, you know, 2 wins in this series. Plus, like I don't know. I'd just be careful making too many proclamations based off one game. But then if we talk about the Heat Celtics, I'm like, Heat are sweeping. So
what do you think?
The same thing on the other side.
But. Do you want to revisit any of the conference semifinals, or do you want to kind of chat about what's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just very bummed about the Celtics Bucks and how that went out. It was a great series. Not quite like an all-time classic, but a really fun series. It just makes you wonder, like, Bucks depth. They have one more guy in Middleton. Not to mention he's probably their third best player.
Second or third, yeah. So it's not a small thing to be missing.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but and then I don't know. We went the rounds on the Sixers, Mavs, Suns. What is there to say? CP3's choke artiste #1. Devin Booker's a bitch, as per you. No, I mean, that was honestly one of the weirdest things I've ever witnessed as a basketball fan was that game 7. I've never seen it. I was just in disbelief. It so shocking. See a team come out and look like a JV high school team. It's like, oh, you're supposed to be the king shit here. Plus, like, a lot of people have said it, but it's like they puffed out their chests so much.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't happen to a better team.
Oh my, yeah, seeing them get
never shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just get knocked down a peg. They're so cocky, so full of themselves, and think they're, it's like things go a little differently last year. There's a chance they don't even get out of the first round because the Lakers were in control of that series before AD goes down. So it's like, and again, it's just like recency bias. It's playing the results, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, ultimately, this team hasn't proved shit, and they were acting like they were, the Warriors in 2018. It's just like you have not earned that rep. So
yeah,
it sucks that it was the Mavs and Luka that had to knock them off, but it was good to see that Suns team get put in their fucking place because my God, I'm sick of them. So that said, it would have been nice to see them going up against the Warriors, but yeah. I guess not if CP3 is going to be playing like he was. So
yeah, I don't know. That was kind of weird, dude, because he was so solid in the Pelicans series, and it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, he looked like, there was legitimate conversations that were like, hey, is this the best CP3 we've ever seen? Like a week prior to that. And that's what leads, me, and I'm assuming a lot of others to think there was some injury stuff at play there.
Yeah,
I guess,
I agree.
only time will tell. I'm sure more of that story. There's already been speculation and some confirmation, I think, that he was injured, but they haven't, as far as I can tell, they've kept it under wraps, whatever it is. So, I don't know. That one, just a shocker. Never seen that from a team that good in a game 7. Just come out totally lifeless like that. Just begging to give the game away.
Yeah, I can't imagine being a Suns. Imagine being like a Suns fan and watching that, dude.
Well, dude, and I was so bummed because I just wanted to go to the Suns Reddit right after that game. It instantly went private. I was like, motherfucker.
Cowards, dude. This is just like the Suns, dude. They talk shit all the
exactly.
And the second they got it back,
wait.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to it.
I found some shit on NBA Twitter, so I was like, all right, scratch my itch.
Bunch of bitches. That's crazy to think to me, dude. Like how quickly this just goes to everything you and I believe about running a team. It's just crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how quickly a championship window can close.
I'm fuck out of here, you 6-year-old.
Who's the Looney Tune who does that? Like Porky Pig or some shit?
I was gonna say, you sound like the kid in Big Daddy with your fucking.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like, excuse me, quazy. Because like Chris Paul's going to be another year older. And Ayton is an unrestricted free agent.
It looks like he's on the way out.
So it's like, I don't see there a path to them getting better next year, really. Like Ayton's like, I don't care. I know Ayton had his ups and downs, but he's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
at the very least,
Mikal Bridges' contract extension kicks in. I have Basketball Reference up. Looks like his contract extension kicks in next year for $20 million a year. Starting at $20 million a year. So it's like you're going to have
CP3 deal too. What's he going 2 or 3 years deep on that?
It'll be second year of the CP3 deal. He'll be making $29 million. Devin Booker will be making $34. So, you have 34, 29, and 20 tied up in those 3, and you're losing, one of your best players without a real path to. Yeah. So it's just interesting.
And then after this, oh my God, that Shamet deal is doo-doo. I just pulled it up too. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I think it was Nick Wright, which he's basically a prophet in my eyes, but I know a lot of people dislike him. So
he's the only one in the media speaking the truth about LeBron, dude.
Well, dude, and it's like all his takes are rooted in like fact-based. They're grounded. It's like just because it's not what you want to hear. Anyways, he was making some case for a Chris Paul and Shamet deal for Russell Westbrook. I was like, I don't know if they'll get that drastic, but I mean, if Chris Paul's not going to return to form, if that injury is something bigger, they really might be in a tough spot. Yeah, unless they find something to bring back with that Ayton contract, because I don't know. I mean, that sounds like not a good situation. I mean, Monty Williams, one of the most respected. So for him to be getting in a fight with Monty Williams and, a team that's
who got in a fight with Monty Williams? I haven't heard this.
DeAndre Ayton. Well, not in a fight, but like a disagreement. And that's what led to his benching. Monty Williams accused him of like giving up on the team.
Dang, good thing the Suns don't got Harden. It'd be a real issue.
I was gonna say I'm trying to get Ayton and Harden to Indiana in my dream off season. So
Yeah,
give me
watch
all the quitters,
just
baby.
not try. Yeah,
Yeah, fine by
82
me.
games of people not trying. I'm sure you'd love that.
Watch them not try to 55 wins, dude.
Yeah,
Just kidding. But no, I mean, yeah, it's dicey for the Suns. I mean, it looked like they had this like crazy championship window. They'd be open for another 2 to 3
4
years.
or 5 years. I was
Yeah,
like
minimum.
4,
2 to 3 minimum, and then now it's like, well, who the fuck knows? Also, Cam Johnson going to be eligible or extension eligible soon too, so it'll be interesting to see what they do there.
And I'm one thing I'm happy about is I a lot of the points I brought up and a lot of points I'm about to bring up that are in my mind are very negative. So this is just I don't know why I'm just in such a negative space right now, but everything I'm going to say on today's podcast is going to be negative, but it's or just be hater. I'm just sipping Hate-O-Rade, dude.
Hey, nothing wrong with it, dude.
Yeah, this was Hate-O-Rade, dude. It's a Hate-O-Rade smoothie.
Is drinking a green tea smoothie or what?
No, it's Madison made a lettuce or not lettuce. Fuck, that'd be gross. Spinach, mango, banana, protein, whatever. It was good. I don't know why you're fucking
bougie motherfuckers.
It's I mean no, but whatever. It's fucking. I'm glad that Devin Booker.
It's like if you're gonna blend some, dude, it better be a chocolate milkshake, you bitch.
All right. Homemade chocolate milkshakes. Talk about bougie.
Whatever.
Two
dude.
ingredients. Devin Booker's been brought down a peg, thank God, because he was like 4th on the MVP. That motherfucker is just he's a good scorer, dude. That's what he is. He's not an MVP. He's not an all NBA player in my eyes. Not at least not first or second team.
Yeah.
And so no, maybe second, but he's not like when I think of great
he's not in that Tatum young player making the leap.
Yeah.
Category.
It's just like I feel like we've seen his and also too. Did you ever see that video back in the day of them doing like an open run? It was a couple of years ago, I think. I haven't seen the video in a long time. I saw it when it happened, but I haven't seen it since. Is they were like doubling him in pickup, Devin Booker.
Oh,
and Joakim Noah. I think Joakim Noah was doing it, and he was like whining and complaining like, "Don't double me," like being a little baby. And then the fact that his demise in the game 7 was him being doubled and he didn't know what to do with it. I was like, it's funny
he's got coach's kid energy. Fuck him.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's a good call. And like, it's funny too because he thinks you like. This isn't an original thought. I saw somebody post this on Reddit, but it was just like he wants so bad to be like Kobe or like a Kobe type player. With all his shit talking and thinking it's like Kobe wouldn't be scared of double teaming and pickup.
Yeah,
like that's the least Kobe energy you could possibly have.
Yeah,
so quit being a fucking imposter, please.
Seriously,
you ain't a killer like mom.
Yeah, it's just the same thing. It's like you want to look like Kobe, but you're not him. Like that's all he is just an imposter. It's like you don't understand the essence of Kobe.
Yeah,
it's like I mean, say what you will about Kobe. I think but yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that's like unquestionable about him. I feel like, and also 3-Ring Circus really drove home some of the stuff about Kobe, where it was just like, he's kind of an a-hole, but it was like, nah, he's authentically an a-hole.
Yeah.
Like he is what he is. Where with Harden, it just feels like, I don't know. You're trying to like act like your big brother.
Booker. You said
what did I say?
Harden.
Oh shit.
That motherfucker couldn't even fake it if he wanted to.
Yeah, Freudian slip.
Yeah. Let's talk about let's pause for a break and then come back to the Warriors Grizzlies because I have thoughts on that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on the Grizzlies Warriors series? I just had one thing. Again, I'm sipping Hate-O-Rade today, but I wanted to see if you had any like things you wanted to chat about. Actually, there's 2 things about the Grizzlies series, and they both have to do with the same player.
Interesting.
Interessante.
About a Grizzlies player or
Yep.
I guess I don't have too many thoughts. Like, I'll be honest, like after the jaw injury and with the stuff that I just had going on, I wasn't seeing a ton of the end of this series. Just wasn't something that it was just disappointing, I guess I would say. Obviously you wish Jaw's healthy. Are you going to go into some of the drama about like the bad blood between the teams? Seems like they patched up by the end. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess
because we chatted a little bit about like the Jordan foul and all that bullshit.
Yeah. So I guess
Jordan Poole. Oh wait, we didn't get to talk about the Jordan Poole one.
Yeah.
I mean, I do want to say, like, I don't care what the Warriors say. That wasn't a basketball play. I'll say Josh should, like, I'm it's crazy to me that Ja could be hurt by such a play. But it's like Jordan Poole is doing some like fucking 8 trigrams Neji, like shutting down the chakra points with like this. I was like, that was some horse shit, dude.
True.
Like that was not a basketball play. Like pulling in the knee and pressing up the shoulder, like that's not a like. There's no conceivable. It's inconceivable that would be a basketball play.
Yeah, but like, I still believe that the Draymond play was dirtier.
I agree.
Than anything Dylan Brooks did. So
or Jordan Poole. Draymond's was
far and away. But yeah, I guess I don't have too many thoughts. It was just disappointing. I wanted to see the Grizzlies knock off the Warriors. Injuries. I mean, the Grizzlies lost their best player. They still had a chance to win the series, though, which was tough that it ended in the way that it did. But
all right, I have 3 quick hitters for you. I know if this was an easy question to answer, it would have been answered. But how in the fuck in Game 6 the Warriors played so many minutes with Draymond and Kevon Looney? When you have 2 guys who literally are looking to do anything but shoot the ball.
Yeah.
How can
should be pretty easy to defend that, you'd think.
I know that like all that does is speak to how electric that like Jordan Poole, Clay, and Steph are. Mm-hmm. But it's like any other team in the league, it's like if you have 2 non-shooters, it's like, oh fuck, this team's not constructed properly. This can never work. They need more shooters. And it's like I get that Steph is the greatest shooter, Clay is probably second greatest shooter, but it's like, how on earth are you going to let Kevon Looney score 4? I believe he scored 4 in that game. They had 20 boards in the closeout game, 20 plus. Yeah. Draymond, that motherfucker looks like the last thing in the world he wants to do is try and finish at the rim.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm just how is there not a better way to try and defend this?
Yeah.
It's like, I'd rather have Draymond, like just try and rotate late to Draymond and make him finish at around the rim, or Kevon Looney. It's like, you're going to get 2 guys who literally want nothing to do.
Well, yeah.
It's like literally fucking having, I can't even think of a good example off the top of my head, but it's just like literally they do not want to shoot the ball.
Well, that's the thing, was like we saw the how that gets executed with the Bucks Celtics. They were like, hey, if Grant Williams is going to beat us from 3, then that's the strategy we have for this game. It's like the Grizzlies should have put something together that was like, if Draymond and Kevon Looney creating is going to beat us, then that's what's going to beat us.
Well, that's what they did. Them creating, they let happen. But I'm saying don't let them create. Make them score.
No, sorry, did I say creating? Yeah, that's what I mean, is like make them just stay on the shooters, stick to them. Yeah. Let Draymond and Kevon Looney do anything else they want in space, but it's just like, I don't know. I just wonder if like the Grizzlies could really, really benefit from like a big man with size who's like
Jaren Jackson is, but like just a guy who's like, I'm going to protect the rim and like, I'm not going to block every shot, but I can literally make every shot in the paint hard. Cause then it's like, you don't have to like, do all these crazy stuff where you're running away from Draymond. It's like, you can just have him in the paint. And I don't know. I guess I don't know a solution, because I know if there was a solution, somebody would have had it by now and the Warriors wouldn't be as effective. But it's like, I just don't understand how you get to have not even 2 negatives, 2 huge negatives on offense. And obviously maybe you could argue they're not scoring, at least, because obviously Draymond can pass, Kevon Looney can create second chance opportunities with his rebounding, but at the same time, it's just like Draymond, it literally feels like he's scared to shoot the ball.
Oh, for sure.
It's like, make him shoot the ball. Like every other team, it's just, I don't know. I feel like there's this grand conspiracy to help the Warriors win.
Well, that's obviously, leave that to the NBA coaches who are like the masters of the X's and O's, but it's just like, you're absolutely right. It seems like it's a simple enough thing for a viewer to pick up on and just be like, this should be stoppable.
Yeah, I would think.
Especially with a team as versatile as the Grizzlies. It makes you wonder, like, oh, were the adjustments just not there? Were the players was the moment too big? What caused it? Because I mean, that's just the sucky part. Is like, even though Ja went down, it still seemed like the Grizzlies could have had a chance of taking that series. Very unfortunate.
Well, I got a couple more the last 2 Hate-O-Rade things. Do you see any? And this is going to be blasphemy. I'm about to say 2 blasphemous things, but I'm not scared I'm not scared to aim at heads today. Do you see any Ewing theory potential with Ja Morant? Just because it wasn't just 5 games this year. He missed significant time, and like the Grizzlies were very good without him. Like better, I believe, like better net rating, better win percentage. They seem stout even in the playoffs when they were missing him. And like, obviously it's hard to say that because like the game when he's in, he scores 47 and he's just transcendent offensively.
Well, I mean, that's
like
the hard part is like when he's in there, it almost looks like when he's in the lineup and then you take him away abruptly, it's like, yeah, they have guys that can fill in, but it's like, I wonder if that is a regular season thing. If the style of basketball they play without Ja is more geared towards like, okay, we can just, because I mean, I forget who the podcaster or analyst that says it, but it's like, as long as you have guys that are just not negatives on either end of the floor, you have like good basketball players up and down your roster. You have like a good defensive, like, what's the word for it?
Scheme?
Not scheme, but like you guys buy in and they give the effort. It's like you're gonna just stomp through the regular season if you have a requisite amount of talent. But it's like, I wonder if that's where the gap is like in playoff basketball, where it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, you need like an engine or a guy who can ignite your offense. It's like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how differently the series plays out if Ja's there. But I mean, I guess there's potential for the Ewing theory thing. Like it's like you said, it's not a handful of games here and there. It's, it's bordering on large sample size. So I think it's fair to consider it, but I don't agree with it personally. What about you? Are you coming for Ja's head? What the fuck happened to you today?
Yeah,
dude?
you just wait, dude. I got another one that is really starting to eat at your boy, dude.
What's going on with you, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I think the jury's still. I'll have to see. It's like if it happens over another season or two, and they don't,
Well, is it more of just a testament to like how good that team is?
Yeah, I think so. And like, I think the Grizzlies are just really good. And like you said, the playoffs are a different game, so I don't think that, I'm not going to read too much into it yet. I just was thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this tracks over the next couple of years.
Let me hit you with a metric real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Mezetrizik.
2, 4, 5. Just kidding. Maybe I won't, because it doesn't play to my favor. No, I was gonna say.
Well, what were you trying to? Be honest. What were you trying to?
I was just gonna say, with Ja in the playoffs, they had a winning record, and he was averaging 27, 10, and 8, and 2 steals. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that does for Ewing theory, but it's like, and I don't know. To me, like, Ewing theory can get thrown out because it's like you hear the way the Grizzlies players talk about Ja. Yeah. I forget what the conversation was. It might have been that Brandon Clark podcast with Zach Lowe, but it was like somebody was in the media saying like the Grizzlies have an agreement. It's like Ja says to all the players like, hey, if you guys are willing to like defend and bust your butts on that end, I got you offensively. And he goes and does
proven it.
It's like, how many times do you have to drop 40 plus in like a big game? How many big games does he have to win for them single-handedly? It's just like,
and that's one thing I don't want to get lost in translation is I don't think that Ja's not a great player, but it like that's kind of like the Ewing theory in a nutshell is like for some reason this collective talent and how it works is just so happens to be better without this player. Not saying that they're better from a talent perspective without this player, but just better. For some reason, it works better without this player. I think Ja is by far the best player on that team. I think Ja is one of the best players in the league. But I don't know. It's just something that's interesting to me.
When you look at like, and I know this is more of like a baseball conversation, but it's like when you look at like replacement level, they have 2 of the best backup point guards in the league.
I was about to say, dude, Tyus Jones literally to me is like the definition of a perfect backup point guard.
Oh my, he shouldn't be a backup. Like that's the problem here. Like how many years in a row?
He's so steady, dude.
Yeah, like he shoots the ball well. He's everything a point guard should be. Incredibly efficient, can hit his own shot when he's looking for it, takes care of the ball, plays good defense. Like I would want him as a starting point guard. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's more of just a testament to the organization, the way they develop talent, the pieces that they put together. It's like, oh, you can miss out on Ja and still just stomp. Like, I don't know. I don't take that as a demerit against Ja, which usually the Ewing theory thing is used as like a demerit against a player, which I don't think that it is in this case. But it also could just be like you and I both just love Ja. So, of course, I'll apologize away anything that
Well, I think I become a little bit less on the jaw train, so I'll be the voice of reason moving forward because my next piece is a hit piece directly at jaw, and I don't know.
It's going.
Did you watch it? So did you happen to catch Game 4, Game 6?
Probably just because he's better than Zion.
I don't give a fuck at this point if this is how he's going to be. So check it. I got my reasons. Game 4, Game 6. Did you catch it at the end of those? Game 4 was the close game. I have it up 101-98.
That was the first game without Ja where they should have won, but they.
And Game 5 was the game where they blew out the Warriors, and then Game 6 obviously they lost. Did you happen to see highlights or catch the ends of Game 4 or 6?
I think I caught. I'm not sure.
And I will say that I saw Russillo talk about this, but I had this thought before I saw Russillo talk about it. So this isn't original thought, but not to say it's a unique thought. Ja was like laughing and joking at the end of those games where they were getting Game 6, they were getting killed. He was laughing and joking. Game 4, when it was close and they lost, he was laughing and joking with D'Anthony Melton. When I don't know if you saw the highlight of at the end of Game 6 at the end of the series when the series was over and everybody's on the floor shaking hands and saying good game. Draymond was talking to Ja. Ja was smiling and joking and giggling. I don't know, dude. I take this stuff way too seriously. I know that's a problem of mine, but I hate when players I was talking to Kurt about this. Shout out to C Muscle, but it's when you see this is an example and why I know that this is how I truly feel is when you see Steph, think about I lose track of the years. Is it 2020, 2019? Whenever the
2019 was against the Raps.
Yeah, that's 2019 when the Raptors beat the Warriors. It's when you see Steph lose big games, that motherfucker's got the 1,000-yard stare, his whole family just got killed. And I hate Steph, but you can tell he cares and he's taking it so seriously. Ja, I don't know. That's just something. It goes back to James Harden. It's a definite through line with my fandom and players I dislike. But the players who and I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it because I'm sure Ja takes it seriously. But stuff like that, just from an optic perspective, it makes me think he doesn't care that much about losing or winning, and that bothers me so much.
I wonder if it's part of the thing of but
Russillo mentioned it too. So I was it's not just me that rubs the wrong way, which I appreciate that.
I wonder if it's a thing where it's young team, young players.
And I get it. It's oh, yeah, we'll be back here next year. But it's we'll fucking see. We'll see. You never know.
And again, that's even with that in their back pocket, you'd still hope they'd be we've come so far, but it's I don't know. I guess to me, it's a blip on the radar that should be.
I don't know. I thought it was, but then when it was 2 games, I was I'm gonna keep an eye on this shit. And if I see it again, I'm probably gonna be out on Ja. Let me correct this. Let me clarify the statement. I think he's a great talent. I can see why people like him, but I'm not going to personally be a huge fan of Ja if that's the type of guy that he is in terms of caring about winning. I'm not going to discount his talent or how great he is or how cool he is, but I'm not going to be a fan of that.
I'm not going to look at one or two points in time. If it's a pattern behavior over the next 5 years, sure. Ja's he's just not that dude. But it's
he can be that dude even too. I'm just not going to be a fan of it.
That's fair. It'll be interesting to see how that one develops over time. Because, like you said, if a guy like Russillo in the media is talking about it, he's not the only one. He's I don't know. Russillo's a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to look up exactly what Russillo said, but yeah, I was just I don't know, dude. That more than anything, I unfairly to the players. It's unfair of me to the players to just be so critical of.
It's tricky too because and again, this might get into too far of a meta conversation, but when people build up goodwill, it's just taken as expected. But then when they do something that chips away at that goodwill, we don't. It's we only look at the negatives in a vacuum. It's because to me, it's the Grizzlies were just this smash mouth punk team that was just trash talking all year, just beating the brakes off teams, playing their style, brash, confident, cocky, arrogant. It's to me that built up a lot of goodwill, and it's I could see why if Ja was I got injured and I'm not playing, there's no shot we're beating the Warriors.
There was though. They were one of the best teams in their winning percentage without Ja in the regular season. I don't think
that's fair, but
I think
I don't know. You tell me, like, if you honestly feel that way, I'm not going to like fight you on that. But to me, it's like anytime a team loses their best player in a playoff series, I'm just going to say they're not going to win the series unless they're up like 3-1 or 3-0 or something like. And I think Ja is unquestionably the best player on that team. So like,
I agree with that. But even going back to what we were talking about earlier, I still think they could have won that series without Ja being healthy at the end of it. I think the Grizzlies have proven that they can win games without a healthy Ja Morant.
that's fair.
I think that I bet every other player on that team thinks they could have won that series.
How about this though? Like, how about losing a playoff game by 50? Like you're giving like Steph praise. It's like, how about never lose a game never get embarrassed as poorly as the Warriors did? What's that do for your? And I get that like Steph Curry's legacy is already in the shitter for you, not as like a all-time.
Well, no,
great,
I will say I'm not going to ever hold one player losing a game by 30 or 40 points against them. Like it's a team game. But if they're losing by 30 or 40 and they're about to be eliminated and they're laughing and joking on the sideline, that's when I become annoyed and frustrated by it.
Losing a playoff game by like 40 or 50 points does more to me questioning if you really wanted, because nobody like that does more damage in my eyes than one or two isolated incidents on a young player's career where it's like, oh, maybe they should have just like been aware of the moment, even if you, yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm the opposite because it's like if you're going to get beat by 40 in an NBA game, sometimes it's just inevitable when a team's going to shoot really well from three.
Shouldn't be inevitable in the playoffs, that late in the playoffs. That should not, and especially without their best player.
That's fair, but
should not be possible.
But I'm going to say though that even if it shouldn't be possible, I'm not going to be mad if it does happen. I'm not going to question somebody's effort if I'm watching and they're trying hard and they're taking it seriously and they just are getting the shit kicked out of them.
See, I will question them more because those guys are actually on the court playing basketball. Ja's injured. His season was done.
Okay, well, how about this? What if you're watching your team get the shit kicked out of them and you're sitting there laughing and joking around on the sidelines? How do you feel about that? How would you feel about that player?
I mean, not great, but like
better than the guys out there trying their hardest and getting the shit kicked out of them on the floor?
I don't think they're trying their hardest by any stretch. I think they're rolling. I don't know.
Whoa. You're questioning a lot more than I am right now.
If a team gets blown out by like 50, you're not trying. You didn't come ready to play.
Those are two different things.
Like
in my
professional, opinion. And it's
not
the playoffs.
coming prepared
should matter.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll criticize the dudes on the court for totally rolling over. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not like. I guess if you had to, like, what is the urgency of the situation with Ja? It sounds like it's like an 8 for you.
Yeah, that more than anything.
Cut it in half, and that's where I'm at.
Okay, wow. Because yeah, that's the unforgivable for me with an NBA players, them not caring or taking it seriously. That's my number one thing. We're just
projecting. Like I don't know what's going on in his head. Like
I know, but like I just know from my mindset, like having played or being a fan, I don't find anything funny when I'm getting the shit kicked out of me and I'm about to be eliminated. I don't find anything funny in that.
I don't know. People deal with stuff differently. So
I know it's just crazy that like every time the camera went to him, he was like laughing and joking. I'm just like, this isn't a fucking.
I'm sure we could find examples of that through history.
I don't know. I'm sure I look for it though because it sticks out to me like a sore thumb when I see it.
Yeah,
I don't see it that often.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this stuff wasn't more commonplace. Honestly,
yeah, I'm sure it is. But I guess from like the face of a franchise and the best player, like those are the guys I think should be held to a higher standard of like.
See,
I want losing to destroy them.
Here's the difference. Well, how do I phrase this? I don't know. It's just tricky. I mean, it's. I don't take it as a positive. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, no, I said, like that. It's a blip on my radar. It's not something I would. Yeah, like you said, it's if Tyrese Halliburton was doing it, I'd be like, that kind of fucking sucks. Like I'd rather have him
Zion did that. I was like, this
choose.
Really fucking sucks. Or any player on the Pelicans. If I was like, if in Game 6 when they lost to the Suns, if they were laughing and joking on the bench, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that would really bother me. But like again, I'm not saying it's over for Ja in my eyes as like a fan of his, and not that it even matters what the fuck I am. Like I'm just a nobody. But like just between you and I, I'm just going to keep an eye on that. And like, if he continues just like laugh and joke and like big losses and it doesn't seem to affect him, he's going to move into like that James Harden type category for me, where it's like, unless you're going to take it seriously,
not to that extent, because Harden is in a class of his own.
Yeah, and like
when it comes to not giving a fuck.
Yeah, because like not only does Harden not give a fuck, I don't like anything else about him. I like
Plus
everything
he chokes.
else.
Yeah,
I like everything else about Ja. It's just this one thing that's like my number one weighted thing when it comes to me like liking a player is like kind of like, I don't know. My opinion of him is shaky there, but every other thing about him is literally unassailable. He's amazing in every other way.
Yeah,
as like a dude, as a basketball player, how cool he is.
Doesn't
how he
sound
plays.
like it. Oh, he's not good, and he's a piece.
No, I know.
That's what I'm gathering.
Okay, bitch.
Just kidding. I'm
Fuck
just kidding.
You. Suck my dick.
I'm just kidding, dude. Ja's number one hater, dude. Yo, Jay, man, if you're still watching this, how about you get in the comments and rip his asshole open? I won't accept this Ja slander.
I know Jesse ain't gonna watch this, so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Prove us wrong. Jay, man, where you at? I'm not even going to tell him to watch it.
Either.
He shows up in the comments.
I'll know you texted him.
No, I will not. I promise you. I promise I will not. Or I guess I should pinky swear it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess. Does that cover? I mean, that covers the conference semis, right?
Yeah, I think we've been through it. I'm interested to see where it goes, though. Jimmy's playing great. I want to see the Heat. Oh, one other question. We're going to go long today. I'm sorry. This is actually not a Hate-O-Rade take, dude. How long do you think PJ Tucker could play in the league?
Till the end of time?
Yeah, till he's 50. Motherfucker's so awesome.
It's funny you brought him up. I was literally like just looking at his basketball reference the other day. I was just like, I'm sure there's a million guys who are probably better role players in the history of the league. He's probably first pick in my all role player draft. Like,
I'm not going to argue with you.
Like, I don't know, man. He's just the grit he brings to a team. I mean, he's incredible, man. He's like,
I love him, dude.
To me, he's like, all-time legend at this point.
And how his game is built, dude. I literally don't see why, as long as he wants to play and he doesn't have a debilitating injury, why you can't keep playing. And like that motherfucker, you want to talk about caring, dude. He's playing. I think I saw something on the broadcast. He's played like more games than anybody since, like 5 years ago or something. It's like somebody his age playing more games than anybody.
Yeah.
And his minutes are hard fucking minutes.
God.
He ain't just standing around the 3-point line. That motherfucker. He does at times, but
on offense. Yeah. But it's like his role is to do the things he excels at are pure energy. Effort, yeah. I mean, that's the thing I respect the most about him. It's like, okay, like not everybody's 7 foot tall with a 7'3" wingspan that has like a just like God's gift with a jumper who can just, sleepwalk into 30 points like Kevin Durant. Like every single thing PJ Tucker does on the court, he busts his ass for. And like, to me, that's like the most, and I'm not trying to like take shots at KD. He's just always catching strays, but
deservedly so.
Yeah. I don't know. PJ Tucker is, when we're talking about that, like building up that bank of goodwill, he's up there with anybody in the league is like having the most goodwill with me throughout all the players, everybody in the league. So, you're preaching to the choir on that one, dude.
I just was thinking about that. I was like, he could literally play till he's 45.
Dude, how do you feel if you're the Bucks? You're just like, oh, we cheaped out and didn't want to bring PJ Tucker back.
There's certain people you like. I
trade some of your depth for Serge Ibaka, who doesn't get minutes.
Yeah. Wait, we were talking about Serge Ibaka, and we were grading trades, and I was like, I don't like that trade for the Bucks because I think he's washed up. That motherfucker's washed up. Dude.
Yeah. He just needs to not be in the league.
I don't care. I don't even care if you had to double PJ Tucker's salary. He's not even asking for that much. I feel like you pay PJ Tucker. If
what did he sign for with the like $5 million or something?
Yeah, I don't care. Like PJ Tucker's the type of guy that I don't care how much you pay him, dude. Like obviously you're not going to pay him a max, but it's like you never have to question his commitment and his contributions to a winning team.
Yeah. I wonder. Let me look real quick. Okay, $7 million. I mean, it's like it's the mid-level. I don't know. I feel like you make it work. If you're fortunate enough to have PJ Tucker there and he wants to be there, make it fucking work.
Yeah, and he just helped you win a title.
Yeah. Instead they got
it was a waste.
Yeah. What a shame. But I mean, if anything, he's gonna have a shot at another one. So
I'm pulling for him, dude.
Yeah, fingers crossed. God dang, Jimmy Butler's gonna be making $52 million in 2025-26. Fuck. Anywho, it looks like it's going to be worth every penny the way he's playing these playoffs. So, so I guess I don't know. It seems like we've kind of both said our prediction in fewer words, right? It sounded like
Heat Warriors.
You got Heat Warriors.
I think it was a win.
I got Heat coin flip. Heat beats whoever. The other thing that's tricky is like I was already leaning Heat, but the Celtics with this COVID stuff.
Yeah, they're getting kind of fucked at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, like Horford missed a game, right? Is he missing game 2 as well?
I think he got upgraded to questionable as of now.
And then people in their traveling party have COVID as well. So yeah. I don't know. That's dicey. I mean, smart money would be on the Heat at this point, you'd think.
Yeah.
So who knows? I guess there was a couple other topics I wanted to cover briefly if you'd like to.
Let's get it, man.
There was the NBA draft lottery this last week, and what did it end up going? Magic,
Magica.
Thunder, Rockets, Pistons, Kings, Pistons, Kings, Pistons, Pacers.
Keep going.
I know it. It's the Blazers.
Yep.
Blazers, and then the Pels.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I know.
Good work. Spurs, Wizards.
Oh,
Knicks,
right. And then it was
Thunder.
chalk. Yeah.
Yeah. Knicks, Thunder, Hornets, Cavaliers.
What were your thoughts on the draft lottery?
I'm glad OKC didn't win in the lottery. I hope they never win a lottery. But yeah, I mean, it was I was pulling for the Pacers to enter the top 4 for your sake, but I was just really happy. The only thing I really had a rooted interest in, other than the Pacers, was just the Pelicans keeping their pick. I know that there was Pelicans fans hoping that they would move into the top 4, but I'm just like, okay, you can't have everything. Like, I know it was a 99.6% chance that the Pelicans kept the pick, but I was just thankful for that because I just was like, I was getting bad vibes all day. It's like, oh, it's going to land outside the top 10.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy about that. What are your thoughts?
It would have been cool if the Pacers didn't get leapfrogged.
Well, it might end up being the best thing, dude. If they end up getting 2. No, I mean, well, yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. If they would end up 5.
I guess, like, I'm not mad that they didn't get into that top 3 because, like, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like 2 of those 3 guys I'd rather have other guys.
In a perfect world, yeah, they just end up with Jabari Smith. But, like, I understand. Like, I'm a Pacers fan. They're never gonna be the magical team that jumped the lottery odds and got first. So I'm okay with them not being in the top 3 because I'm a little iffy on Banchero and Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, do you almost feel like if Holmgren goes number 1 overall, this feels like Odin and KD? Where it's like obviously Odin's career got cut short by injury, but it's like everybody was like KD is probably the guy who's going to be the best player, but Odin is the guy you got to take.
Yeah, but you have to take him.
Yeah,
I mean. And again, it's like
that almost feels like it could be the case with effing Holmgren and Jabari Smith.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, with any luck, like Chet Holmgren at the minimum would be like at least a solid, have a solid, healthy career, that stuff. But he's not a player I would be thrilled about if the Pacers got first pick. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah.
Because I mean the obvious things like the stature, I just don't like the NBA. Like I get that the game's gotten a lot softer, but it's like.
How soft?
It ain't that soft yet.
I'm just kidding.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty okay with where the Pacers ended up. It would have been cool if they would have slotted into that 5 slot, because then I don't know, they kind of get their pick of that second group, because it seems like the consensus is like Banchero, Holmgren, Smith, and Jaden Ivey. Maybe Shaden Sharp jumps up there. So I'm excited for that next group, those wings that everybody's kind of eyeballing. Pacers need some wing depth. So
yeah, there's a nice group of wings, it feels like.
Yeah. I did have a question for you, and I know we kind of talked about it in text.
Question.
I just want to get it on the record. What are your thoughts about my proposed lottery change where if a team has been in the lottery,
explain it to the viewers. Yeah, explain it to the viewers.
So I wanted a way to penalize teams like the Thunder, the Kings that just like tank year in and year out, just perennial tankers basically, where my thought was like every team in the lottery has odds to jump into that top 4. So what you do, you say if a team has a 20% chance at the top 4 and they've been tanking for 10 years and they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years, you take that 10 years times like a factor, whatever you determine that to be, and you reduce their odds of jumping into the top 4 by that. And I think that the example I gave to you in text was like,
and I know these aren't the actual lottery odds, but I'm just doing it for the sake of an example. But say the Kings have a 10% chance of getting leapfrogging into the top 4, but they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. What if we reduce their lottery odds by 1% per year that they're not in the playoffs? So you would take 10 years times, or no, how would that work? You would lower their lottery odds by 10% of what they currently are. So instead of them having a 10% chance into jumping into the top 4, they'd only have a 9% chance. And then that additional lottery odd would be dispersed among teams that, aren't perennial tankers. And I don't know. I mean, like, I was trying to like model it out in an Excel spreadsheet. It got kind of tricky to do. I don't know where the cutoff is. Do you say like teams that have been in the lottery for 3 years, like they're not necessarily perennial tankers, but it's like, what do we do for these like outlier cases where teams just are dog shit forever? Like I don't know. And I guess part of it too comes from like a little bit of bitterness over the Kings jumping the Pacers in the lottery. Whatever, not a big deal. But I don't know. I guess anything that can penalize teams for tanking and penalize teams like the Thunder and the Kings, I'm all for it, because I hate what they do for the league. I hate what they do in those markets.
Yeah.
So it's like you coast off revenue sharing, and you coast off potentially like rich ownership to circumvent like competitiveness. It's like, it's a professional sport. Like, competitiveness should be and I get that that's their version of competitiveness. Hey, we're not going to build our teams through this route, so we'll do it this other way. But I don't know. Tanking just never sits right with me. So any way we can lessen teams that tank like that, I'm happy for it. But
yeah, I wonder if the more effective way, now that this just came to my head when you were speaking, was I wonder if the more effective way to be like reduce the revenue that gets shared with teams that are tanking. Because I don't think some of those owners don't give a fuck about the product on the basketball court, whether it's good or bad. They just want to make money.
Yeah.
And if it's like, hey, we're not going to change anything about how your lottery odds, but it's like, if you're going to continue to tank, we're not going to share. We're going to take away a certain percentage of the revenue that we share with you and disperse it amongst teams that are actually trying.
I feel like that should be the move, but I don't think the owners will ever pass
absolutely.
it. But like, that should be the move. I mean, it's like, mine's like an indirect way of hurting the pocketbook. The first thing you'd want to, in a perfect world, you would directly penalize them for that.
Yeah, because that's the thing. At the end of the day, the only people that suffer in that are the players who are there trying and the fan bases who love those teams. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, if your front office is going to be the one to continue to do shit like that with like an edict from ownership, and I feel like at the end of the day, like, if a team's not competitive, it's the ownership's fault, in my opinion, because they're the ones who are like, if somebody's not doing the job, it's their responsibility to hire new people.
Or what about like a non-competitive like tax?
Yeah, something like that.
Where it's just like a cash payment that the owners pay. And it's like, okay, if you're in like,
but again, it's just tricky too, because like some teams have an edict to be like
not competitive. Other teams, it's truly like bad luck.
Yeah. So it's like, you don't want to penalize people for bad luck, but I guess that's where you would say like, that's where you would need to put in like some threshold, some allowable amount of like, I don't know. It's just, I just hate tanking. Every year I try to think of a new way to
it's just tough though, because like you said, dude, ownership, they'll never agree to that shit. So it's
I mean, it's a moot point, like, but it's just, I don't know. It's just frustrating because I don't know. And like you and I, it's just like, I feel like we root for teams that are like, and I don't know why it ended up this way, but they're both small market teams that have to be smart and strategic. There's some small market teams that don't have to be smart and strategic. And then there's the big markets that they don't even play the same sport. They literally don't play by the same rules as like small to mid markets. So anything that can balance that out, like, because it just sucks. Like, if you're a small market and you have ownership that's like willing to allow you to do whatever, just tank until you can get premier players. If you're a good team, not even a good team, a rich team in a good market, it's like, you don't have to be good at talent evaluation. You don't have to be good at like really anything. You can just say, hey, we're LA, come here.
Yeah, hey, we're Miami.
Yeah, it's like you're literally not playing the same sport. You're not playing by the same rules. So anything that can shift some of that power back to these forgotten markets, I'm all for it. But I don't know. just my thoughts. I guess that wraps up the lottery, but do you want to take a pause and then we'll quick go over like dream scenarios for our teams this offseason?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, well, all right. We back. I guess, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to? Talking Pels Pacers dream off seasons, right?
Mine is really short, so I don't know if you want me to go first, get out of the way. Yeah, I'll do that and give you the floor. Pelicans theoretically are going to be adding Zion to the mix. So I just want them to stay where they're at with the 8th pick. Hopefully take Benedict Mathurin or Mathurin. Not sure exactly how it's pronounced.
He ain't slipping that far, dog.
I don't know. I see a lot of mocks where he's going like 10 or 11, so we'll see.
Fuck you.
So yeah, ideally the Pelicans just literally trot out the same rosters last year. Then you just add Zion on a top 10 pick and maybe make, one free agency move. I don't know. There's rumors of Devontae getting traded or Jackson Hayes getting traded, but I'm perfectly fine with them coming back next year and running it back.
So are you cool with you'd rather have them draft a wing than a guard with Kyrie Lewis coming back, the addition of CJ McCollum?
Because we
BI and Zion.
Because like you said, it's like adding Kyra back is like another second. That's like a second lottery pick this year because he was starting to come on a little bit before he tore his ACL last year, and
he was already looking like further along than Nikhil, I think, right?
Yeah, and I think the writing's on the wall for Devontae Graham too if Kyra Lewis plays well at the beginning of the season. That's one thing I didn't get to mention when I was talking about the Pelicans and like kind of their magical run was it was so cool to see Kyra back on the bench too because like everybody talks about Zion, but Kyra's hurt and he was kind of forgotten in all this. And I think he's awesome. So it was cool to see him back. But that's my dream for the Pelicans. What about you?
I don't know. I guess like I hope it'd be really cool. Part of me, so my primary objective is to get rid of Malcolm Brogdon.
Yes.
Get rid of Chuck Yet. No, it's get rid of Malcolm Brogdon. And if that's Jaden Ivey slipping to them in the draft and they take a guard, I'm cool with Jaden Ivey, Tyrese Halliburton backcourt until the end of time. Like at first I was like, oh, why would that? Like I want one of these wings, blah, blah, blah. Jaden Ivey's not going to be there when the Pacers are up. If there's anything we've learned about the NBA in the last few years, it's like you can play 2 guards, you can play 3 guards, you can play small. It's not the end of the world. Obviously there's going to be some like defensive stuff there, but like, I don't know why. I mean, I was thinking way too much towards like roster fit when the Pacers they're like 2 teams in one. They have like all these vets in this like 28 plus range that are on their way out. And then they have this huge group of like 6 or 7 young guys that are like 23 and under. And it's like, I'm not too concerned with fit because like they obviously have this young core that they're building up to be competitive in like 3 or 4 years. So if Brogdon leaves and Jaden Ivey's the pick, I'm happy. If Keegan Murray, Benedict Mathurin, Shaedon Sharp, if any of those guys come to the Pacers and Brogdon's gone, I'm happy. My one non-negotiable for the Pacers offseason is if they come back with Brogdon, because I just think that's going to stunt Tyrese Halliburton in so many ways. It's like Brogdon was a different player on the Bucks ever since he's been on the Pacers. He just wants it to be his team, and he's not the point guard of the future anymore. Tyrese Halliburton is. So unless he can fit in a really effective way, I don't want anything to, even if he could find a way, I'm just over the Brogdon experiment. Ship him off to somewhere where he can, go live out his
destroy
dream.
another franchise.
Yeah. Go for it, pal. The other thing would be like, I think it'd be really cool to find a sign and trade for Ayton, even though, he gave up on his team. He plays video games till 4 a.m. and doesn't give a shit about basketball. I still I don't know what validity there is to those reports.
What games does he play? Did it say in that article?
I don't know. He probably plays like Fortnite or Warzone or Valorant, all these stupid. Anyways, I don't know what he effing plays. He probably streams, if anything. But I don't know. I still like Pacers are never going to get a first overall pick. They're never bad enough to get that. They're never going to be a free agent destination. So it's like, if you can get a distressed asset in DeAndre Ayton and you have to give up Miles Turner and maybe another young player and a pick, I say go for it, man. He fits the timeline. I think he's an incredible player. It'd be interesting to see what he could do to kind of take the take the leash off him a little bit. You know, where I feel like he's been the guy in Phoenix that's just been told, hey, like we have to limit you so all these other guys can do what they want to do. It's like,
Right.
I don't know, like obviously the Suns' ceiling is high and it's not always due to Ayton, but it'd just be interesting to see him. He was a first overall pick and he's shown a lot of versatility and skill in the league so far.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I don't know, him and Halliburton together, that just seems like a fun combo.
Wait, did you speak on Jalen Smith?
Well, I was actually just going to lead into that. I was going to say it wouldn't be the first time the Pacers have taken a Suns big and turned him into something a little different because, you know, obviously Jalen Smith, you know, showed up and he's looking like a part of the future between him, Isaiah Jackson. I mean, it's the Pacers bigs look good whether they bring in a guy like Ayton or not. So, but I don't know. I mean, he seems like he's definitely a level or two ahead of those guys. And where he's currently at, he's definitely more developed. But I don't know. I mean, that makes for a really fun big man rotation, I feel like, to be building around. Not to mention, like, you know, they got Duarte, O'Shea Brissett, Terry Taylor, Tyrese Halliburton. They got some good young players. So I don't know. It's an exciting offseason. I hope they continue to move forward with the like youth movement that they've started, just because it's been a long time since the Pacers have done anything like that. It's really been since like the early 2000s that it feels like a young new team. So anything that can continue them on that timeline and step further and further away from their current timeline, like it's just weird. Like they have like Rubio, they got TJ Warren, they got TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, Malcolm Brogdon, Buddy Hield. Like those are the vets. It's just like that's not going anywhere. Those players are more valuable to other teams at this point. So I don't know. That's kind of my hope. Also, I saw that.
How about this, dude? Sorry, finish your thought.
No, I was just going to say people have thrown out like Russ. I've heard like Russ to Indy stuff, Russ Westbrook. I would like.
We'll see.
For a 1 year rental, just roll the ball out there with Russ and see what happens. I'd be okay
you would
with that.
Blow your load, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be back to making hoops mixes. So sign me the fuck up for that. Yeah, just bring in give me Russ, give me Harden, give me Ayton, give me all these people that everybody hates. And just put them all in Indiana. That's the dream.
I was going to ask, if you had to put money on it, would you say the Pacers end up with less wins or more wins than last year?
More. I think more.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's not like they gave any indication that they're moving in the right direction because the way they ended their season, but I don't know. I mean, it's just the Pacers have always been a team that try to stay competitive. So, like, even if they're going with this, like, youth movement, I feel like they're still going with, like, potentially, like, win now players. Like, not, like, a ton of crazy projects. So, that's why, like, I feel like I could see them drafting a guy like Keegan Murray or Jaden Ivey, some of these guys that are a little more, I don't know, established. Like, Keegan Murray seems like he's borderline a finished product. And that's, I'm not trying to put like slander on him because I'm sure he'll improve and stuff. But man, I feel like his floor is already so high. So it's like, I feel like that's the exact type of player they try to target. So, and he slots in nicely. So, but yeah, I would take, I mean, if you were to sit there, I would take the over compared to the prior year. What about you when it comes to Indiana? Because I mean, I'd take the over on the Pels.
I think I'd take the over on the Pit. I think I'd take over on the Pacers too, just based on less turnover and just how roughly it kind of went for them in certain spots where it could have went either way. Like they caught a lot of bad breaks last year. So,
well, that was the sucky part was like, I mean, they had just terrible. I mean, every team got hit by COVID at some point last season, but it was just like injuries plus COVID. It just felt like they could never get all the guys they wanted on the court at the same time until it was just a bunch of young guys out there. So I don't know. And even if they did just roll the ball out and it was all the young guys making mistakes and, you know, having exciting games, but not amounting to more than like 24, 25 wins, I wouldn't be mad at that. I've been spoiled as a Pacers fan. So, what's a year or two down in the dumps?
Yeah, why not?
Slumming it with the rest of these fucks.
Right.
Before we return to that middle tier.
Yeah, that seed.
That not quite upper crust.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I don't know. Was there anything else you wanted to cover? I got some trivia here if you'd like to partake.
I got one thing here. Set the mic down, dude. I got a surprise.
Some real special for you. What easy. Oh, shit. Let's go. Show them off, dude.
So I even did the orange microphone for Naruto today. So for all those out there who are watching this, Naruto and Zion have a collaboration that has been coming out in the past few weeks, and I was able to get a pair of the Naruto Ninetales colorway.
Dude, I couldn't find it.
It didn't end up coming. I was so frustrated.
I was like, the fuck happened?
I couldn't find an answer, but apparently it's still some of the apparel still coming out. But here's the Ninetales colorway. I'm not the biggest, like the thing is I'm not the hugest fan of the shoe. I like the shoe, but not the colorway.
Story. Yeah, it's the
but
story
it's
of
like
the shoe.
I have the shoe now, and the fact that it's Naruto, it's like two of my favorite things in the world, cross-homogenized. So here they are. The Zion one, Cubu, I think is the official name for them, but it's basically the Naruto Ninetales.
Yeah.
So we got those. So yeah, I'm gonna unlock the Ninetales power and unleash it on the Hakagure.
Wait, was the fuck? Dude, I'm trying to play some Shinobi Strikers. Listen to those menu noises again. Fuck. Was it Shukaku that we were always getting fucked up on that game?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking A.
Anyways,
Mr. One Tails himself.
Do you want to do a couple quick trivias?
Yeah, let's do it. I just thought it was cool too that they got like the leaves on the box.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, let's do.
I'll do the front half of the card. You do the back.
Maybe I can get all the number questions.
Yeah, fingers crossed. In 1989, 1990, what NBA center hit 68 threes more than all other centers combined? I'll give you the choices. Or do you want them?
I want to try it.
Okay.
88, 89.
89, 90.
89, 90.
He hit 68 threes, more than all other centers combined.
My concern is this person isn't listed as a center, but I'll guess Sam Perkins.
I'll give you your options. Brad Lowhouse, Pat Ewing, Robert Parrish, Jack Sigma.
It's either Sigma or Lowhouse. I'll go with Sigma.
Correct.
That is correct.
I gotta make okay. I gotta look up Sam Perkins.
Who won the 87-88 NBA Schick Award? The fuck is that?
87, 88?
Yeah, the Schick Award.
Is that like the rookie of the year?
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know if the timeline matches up.
Okay, Sam Perkins didn't really start shooting threes until the 90s.
Till later in his career.
Yeah, 88, 89. He really developed that. Early on in his career, he wasn't much of a three-point guy.
The original Splash Mountain. I don't know what the Schick Award is, dude, because this guy was a rookie before that season.
Okay, it's for 87, 88.
Yeah.
I mean, that gives me
87, 88.
Name a random player from the 80s.
Yeah, and
let's do Joe Dumars.
Second. NBA Schick Award. Because I can't even find anything when I Google it. This game is whack. Excuse me. Yeah, it's
right.
not.
My guess is Joe Dumars. Guess a random NBA player and see if you get it right. Bailey, what number am I thinking of between 1 and 1,000?
Yeah. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, man.
Answer. Yeah, great question.
That was close.
You ready?
I was pretty close on that one.
Wait,
I thought I was doing 4. Okay, I see how it is.
No, we're doing 2 and 2.
You got 2 number questions. Let's grab a
Are
different
you
card.
fucking joking me?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Dog.
This one's got some qualitative.
Okay, nice. Keep trying to focus it for me. Okay. Not that these are any easier. What was Dick Barnett's nickname? There's literally no Barnbur. I can read them for you. Keep trying for me. There we go. Barn burner, fallback baby, net nipper, or wet bar.
Net nipper.
Fallback baby. You fucking
Fallback
idiot.
baby.
Yeah.
My bad.
This one is a good question. This next is a good question. Keep trying for me. There we go. Who was the only player ever selected as the NBA MVP, All-Star Game MVP, and Playoff MVP all in the same year?
Playoff MVP.
Guessing Finals MVP.
That was NBA MVP, All-Star Game.
And Finals MVP in the same year. I'll give you a hint. It's
the
from.
late 80s,
It's. I give you a hint. It's like 70s.
70s player. I mean, I gotta go probably Kareem.
Willis Reed.
Ah, what? What? Dang. Huh. Dang.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention before, but then we should have led with this was RIP to Bob Lanier.
Oh, for real.
Then also Adrian Payne too. I don't know if you remember Adrian Payne.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Tragic. It sounds like his life was ended way too tragically and way too short. But RIP to, and Bob Lanier is an all-time legend. So RIP to both those guys, members of the NBA family.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that Adrian Payne one, that sucked to hear because he was like out of the, I don't know. And not to say, yeah, they're both just, any losses always suck.
NBA family, man.
Yeah. So that's a bummer. So I guess we're going out on a high note this week.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. It needed to be mentioned. So good call. I think I fucked this box up. All right. Well, I guess that probably does it for the week, right? We're going to I'll try to be less of a scumbag and get more on a regular schedule.
Sounds good.
So, all right. Well, thanks for listening. If you made it this far,
Believe it.
Believe it.